This is Q Billing, a financial management company specializing in cross-charging and cost allocation systems. In today's topics, we're going to talk about two different areas. The first will be the components needed to successfully create a transaction in any cost allocation and cross-charging system. And the second is to outline the different types of transactions and the frequencies in which they are used. Within any cost allocation and cross-charging system, there are three primary components that are needed in order to successfully process a transaction. The first component is a valid delivery location. A delivery location can be thought of as an organization that provides a product or service that is consumed by other organizations within the company. Each delivery organization would then look to the types of products and services that are being consumed, and this is illustrated as a cost element. And cost elements would be the types of components that reside within your portfolio of products and services that are utilized to provide the day-to-day operational types of environments that you have today. So a delivery location would look for a valid cost element, and then it has to have a rate that is associated with that cost element. So those three components are what is needed from a delivery location. The second component would be a valid transactional data, and transactional data looks for two key pieces of information. The first is that it has volumes that are populated, so it needs to know how many of the cost elements were consumed and the frequency in which those are scheduled to occur. The third component is a valid client location. Each client or the organizations that consume the products and services must be set up in the cost allocation and cross-charging system. The typical transactions that are processed within a cost allocation and cross-charging system are two types of transactions. The first is a percent allocation, and a percent allocation would typically parallel another driver within your company. So this other driver could be revenues by client, it could be per employee, per asset, or even a best guess. And this would typically have a one-to-many type of environment. So one or few organizations would provide the products and services, and many organizations or cost centers would consume that product or service. The second would be a volumetric or transactional type of transaction, and this would be per help desk call or per help desk call by type, maybe by an issue or an add, change, or delete. It could be by a consumption model on the amount of storage that's being consumed per request. This would many times align to an activity-based costing methodology. The frequencies that are typically seen within a cross-charging and cost allocation would fall into one of three buckets. The first would be a one-time charge. This would be something like an installation charge or an end-of-period debit or credit true-up. The second would be a recurring charge. For example, if a router or firewall or switch or server is installed into the environment, you may have support costs that recur for that piece of hardware on a monthly basis until it's removed from the environment. So once it's installed, it will maintain a recurring fee until it's removed from the environment. And the third type of frequency that we see would be a set term. And a set term, the best example that we use would be hardware depreciation. You buy a piece of equipment, you do a straight line depreciation over 36 months, so it has a set start date and end date. But this could be used for acquiring land, buildings, or other terms that you have to run your business. Thank you for visiting us today to talk about the components needed to process transactions, reviewing the types of transactions and the frequencies in which they occur. Please don't hesitate to contact me directly, or for additional information, you can visit us online at www.cubebilling.com. Thank you.